Hey guys, welcome back to Modeling Manhood. Today we're going to be talking about, you got it, Texas. Everything's big in Texas. Before I tell you the story in Texas, I want to just read a passage and then see if you guys can make the connection this time. Matthew chapter 13, verse 44. The kingdom of heaven is like treasure hidden in a field, which a man found and covered up. Then in his joy he goes and sells all that he has and buys that field. Have you guys ever found something and that was the most important thing in your life, and you're just like, whatever it takes, we just need to get it, or I need to do that, or the kingdom of heaven needs to be like that too. And we had this cool experience when we were in Texas. We were going through northern Texas in the Amarillo area, and my wife and one of my boys were in doing laundry at the laundromat, and they met this local guy, and he's like, how long you guys staying in town? And however his Texas accent was, and his big old hat. And he's like, if you guys are around town, he goes, you guys need to check out Paladora. And we're like, we have no idea what this is. He's like, whatever you do, you need to go there. It's the Grand Canyon of Texas, and it's only like 25 miles away. And we had plans to leave the next morning and get back on the road and head into other areas on our trip. But we dropped all our plans. We got up early. We drove and were there when they opened up the park. And if you've ever been to the Grand Canyon, at Paladora, you can actually take your vehicle and drive down into the canyon. And when we were in the canyon, the week before they had flash flooding, and they had carved out the road. There were spots in the road that were like 4 foot of mud, like on both sides of you just driving. And we just drove around in the bottom of this canyon. It's not very big. It's thousands of acres, but nothing in comparison to like the Grand Canyon. But it was unbelievable. We would park the vehicle and run up and look in the rocks. We found this one cave, and the kids were like in the cave, on top of the cave, around the cave, and we were just running around, just enjoying the views and just enjoying God's beauty. But man, what if we had never met that guy, and he would have never had the opportunity to tell us about it? So I'm telling you guys, if you ever get to northern Texas, you need to go to Paladora Canyon. It is worth the visit, and it is unbelievable. Probably one of the highlights of our trip, one of those unexpected things when we did our cross-country trip with the family last year, and just spent together some time. But man, I would go back there in a heartbeat and would recommend that to you guys too if you're ever in the area. But you know what? You know what was cool about that day? A friend of my parents, before we left on our trip, gave my kids a whole bunch of pop cans and said, whatever you guys do, cash these in and then do something special with the kids. And it was like $15 to get into the park. And we used money from the pop cans that she gave us to go to the park that day. And it was just super special. And we called her and let her know. And told my parents, make sure you tell them thank you again for just making this happen. And we dropped everything, kind of like this man did in the Bible in Matthew. He sold everything he had, and he went out and bought that land. What is it going to take for you guys to give up everything you have once you find Jesus? Jesus has the answers for everything. You may not understand him at first, but if you give him long enough, things are going to start to make sense, and you're going to realize that he has your best interests in mind, and he just wants to have a relationship with you. I don't know where you're at financially or what your social economic status is. He wants the poor just as much as the wealthy. If anything, the Bible says it's harder for a rich man to enter heaven than a poor man. And he just wants our hearts. I hope that you guys will sell everything and go all in after Jesus like this man did. I just want to read that verse again here in Matthew with you guys. Kingdom of heaven is like a treasure hidden in a field, which a man found and covered up. Then in his joy he goes and sells all that he has and buys that field. And we have a home in heaven that's waiting for us. I'm excited. I'm excited to share with you guys the excitement of going to heaven someday, and just the excitement of finding this little treasure. There's so many other amazing places out there, and we don't have to spend a lot of money or do anything fancy, but man, just spend time with your family, spend time with your loved ones. We only have a short time here, and someday we can celebrate in eternity and talk about all our adventures, things like Paladora and other places that we were just blessed and fortunate enough to see. Wow. Anyways, sell it all for Jesus, guys. That's what I'm telling you. Remember to mirror your maker and journey with Jesus.